Hi.
All right, everything's working. Okay, good.
Yeah, from my side too.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Firstly, I thank you for accepting my invitation and accepting to be on my show.
Yeah, no worries, no problem. It's an honor being on here.
So I've gone through your profile. I saw Spartan Neptune. So I didn't understood this. So I thought to tell about this to my audience.
Yes. Um, it's the my Twitch channel. I've been doing this for almost 2 years now. Been doing it full time. I play a bunch of different games. I try and play all the newer games that come out. Some of them that interest me, then I play them. Others I'll just pass on, but pretty much the main game that I started playing on the channel when I first started was Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which was back on console on the PlayStation 4 is when I first started. And then about 4 or 5 months ago, I had recently got a computer, and I've been starting off streaming a game called Phasmophobia, which is about ghost hunting. And you have to figure out what type of ghosts you're dealing with and all kinds of stuff with your evidence. So it's pretty much like a ghost hunting detective game. And I played that for a while. I played a few Among Us games as well. That didn't really go too well. I think my audience is more into Phasmophobia because that's what I started off with. So I've also played Rust. I tried live streaming Rust a few times, and that's been pretty good too. I play it off stream a lot as well too.
So before talking more about it, can you please introduce yourself to my audience?
The like, what do you mean, like the channel name and that?
Yeah, where are you from and what you do and your channel name and what exactly it is, like a basic introduction.
Okay, well, I am from Ontario, Canada. My name is Pascal, also known as Sp4rtanNeptune on Twitch. And right now, it's just starting for my Twitch is just starting right now. It's still fairly new. I'm still waiting for it to pick up a little bit more. I've had a few payouts from Twitch directly, but I'm still waiting for it to fully pick up so that I can do this for the rest of my life. Right now I get help from the government. Whatever money I don't make off of Twitch, they still send me money for my bills and everything else. So until then, I'm just pretty much, waiting till my streams and my channel grows, and that way I can start living off of Twitch streaming and get my life all sorted out together.
So when did you start playing games and what made you to come into this?
I've well, I've been playing games. Oh God, since I was about 10 years old, I've been playing video games nonstop, all the way from. Well, actually, I don't know if you would know this, but my first ever console I started playing games on would be the um, Nintendo and the Super Nintendo and all those old consoles, along with the Nintendo 64 and all those going up. And then I've played, like, I had every single console growing up. My dad had an Atari. I had a Super Nintendo. And then from there, Nintendo 64, the original Xbox, the Xbox 360, and Xbox One as well. And I used to play PlayStation as well. So pretty much everything from the GameCube to PlayStation, pretty much every single console that was out there, I'd play on it. So just a couple of years ago, that's what first making me feel like I wanted to take my gaming up to the next level, because I also like interacting with new people from around the world and everything else, and I like playing games too. So that's why I figured might as well start live streaming it and see where it goes from there. And then, yeah, it's been good ever since.
What is your level in gaming? The beginner, intermediate, or the expert level?
It depends on which games. With Phasmophobia, I'm at the professional level now of it. I started off as the amateur level, and then within a couple of weeks, I was up to the professional level, which is the hardest difficulty. And with Rust, there really isn't any difficulty setting for that one, because it's role play type of first person shooter, which means you just do your own thing, you build your own base, and then you have to defend yourself from other people that are in the servers. So there isn't really a difficulty setting for that one. But for the other one and any other single player game that I mainly play is usually on normal difficulty, which is intermediate difficulty.
So I heard that Canada is Canada have one of the biggest gaming industries in the world.
No. Actually, where I'm from, not too many people. Well, there's quite a few people in Canada in general that do live stream and things like that, but there's not too many of them that do. I know maybe 3 to 4 people that live stream here in Canada, and most of those people that do stream is because I've inspired them to start streaming, because apparently I talk about it so much that they've decided, well, I might as well try it too, because I love gaming as well, and I want to interact with new people too, and kind of like spend the time. So that's pretty much going good so far.
So you play individually or you play with a team by adding people in the live stream?
Depending on the games, like with Phasmophobia, I tend to play with people that own most of my games that are online. I tend to play them with the audience if they have the game. If not, most of the games that I play are with people that I have, my online people that I have, my gaming buddies. But most of the time, I'm trying to involve more of the audience into the games with me, and that kind of stuff, just to get everyone all interacted together and all friendly, and that get everyone to get along with each other. Kind of grow the audience that way too, a little bit more, expand the community more, and all that by getting them included in things. 'Cause that's what I notice that most Twitch streamers don't do. They have this big community and all that, and they don't. Some of them don't include them in their games, and others do. And I'm trying to be in that way to include people more into the gaming, to expand the community that way. Be like, okay, well, this streamer is really friendly. He lets you game with him a few times and all that, and just brings like this big atmosphere like positive atmosphere around them.
So tell me about your skills. How you developed your skills in playing, and what are you good at?
I mean, I have to just leave for one quick second and then come back, if
Sure,
that's
sure,
okay.
sure.
Won't be too long. All right, sorry about that. What was the next question?
How you developed your skills, and what are you good at?
The skills that I find that I'm really good with now is interacting with people and all that. At first, I was really shy because it just seemed to me like I was talking to myself half the time, being in front of the camera. So after a year, it kind of like, well, after a couple of months, I kind of got used to it and got the hang of things better and all that. But at first, it was weird. But it was really different going from console right to PC right away. The mouse and keyboard with the games was more difficult because I'm used to using a controller. So that was something to get used to, but surprisingly, it only took a couple of weeks and I was already pretty much used to it. I knew the buttons of the keyboard right away and all that, and I thought it was going to take me longer, but nope. I was actually surprised.
What is the equipment that you use to play your game?
What was that? Sorry.
What is the equipment that you use to play your game?
The equipment I use, the oh, I have to go check the name of it now. I don't know the name by heart. So for the mouse is a Razer Viper mouse. The keyboard is Razer Synosa Lite. And then the headphones that I'm using are Razer as well. They're 7.1 surround sound. And then the mic I'm using now too is the toner mic I just recently got a ring light to try and make it brighter too because people were telling me it was super dark for the camera, hard to see me and all that. So a couple months ago I got a ring light for it. And then I'm using a TV as a second monitor and I have my main computer.
And what is the monitor? What is the size of it?
I think they said when I got it was a 19-inch monitor. It's an all-in-one PC, which means everything, the tower, the motherboard, everything is in the back of the screen. So it's all built in one. That way, it was easier that way because I didn't have the bulky tower to like accidentally knock over my desk or something or things like that. So I felt like trying something different too with having an all-in-one PC, and the webcam is all-in-one, is the built-in webcam that I'm using for it too. 1080p at 60 frames. The only thing is the PC's only an Intel i5 that's in there. So it's the second generation below the one that we have now, which I think the newest one is Intel i9. So mine's like one generation below, but it still plays games pretty good and everything else. And to me, that's all
And
that matters.
what is the graphic card that you're using?
Just using the default graphics card that's in there. Actually, I go look up the system information too. So pretty much the system type is a 64-based PC. Software model is Acer Aspire C24963. The processor is Intel Core i5. CPU at 1.00 gigahertz. 1190 megahertz, 4 cores. 8 logical processors. I'm not seeing where the graphics card would be on here that it's showing me, but it's a pretty good graphics card. It's just, it has its moments in that some games don't perform the greatest. Like, it doesn't have ray tracing and all the fancy stuff that the games of this year has, but it's still a pretty good PC and that I'm using.
So Spartan Neptune is the latest game, or it is a famous game?
The the latest games I play and the famous games that are out, is that what you're asking? What famous games that I play now?
Yeah.
Pretty much the only ones I've ever been playing. Well, right now the one I'm really playing is Rust. I got back into that. And the other one is Phasmophobia, and then I've actually played earlier I finished up a stream about the game Before Your Eyes that just came out in April. And I have the online game called Lunch Lady that I play with my gaming buddies that I've tried a few times, that also released in April of this year. So it's all pretty good. Before Your Eyes is a pretty touching game. Very catchy, very emotional. And it's pretty much based on the life of a kid who his mom was an accountant but wishes that she could be a music composer. And throughout the whole game it shows you the kid gets sick, and then after that it shows that while he was sick he decided to give up music and go more into drawing, and eventually later in his life he became a famous painter. And then after that it brings you back to the main story, the main purpose of the game, which turns out that while he was sick his illness kept getting worse and worse, and he ended up passing away. I think they said in the game he was 12 years old when he passed away. But it's a very emotional game, and it's really sad that it's a good way of putting it that they showed his life all in one piece, and then after that showed the reality of what was going on with his story, that he ended up trying to fight the illness and he couldn't fight it anymore, and it took him his life away from him. But yeah, overall it was a pretty good game.
Okay, so Spartan Neptune, you're playing this game for how many years?
I was That game I just played today, I ended up playing it for my stream just to try it out because I've been wanting to play it for a while and I've didn't really get the chance to last week, so I figured this week I'd try it out and see what the game was all about. I'm probably gonna go back to the other games I was playing like Rust or get into Phasmophobia again and all that. I had to fix up some settings and for my Streamlabs OBS I was using because it wasn't giving me the best quality. So I had to go in there and actually look up a tutorial on how to set up the stream to go with because I have poor internet right now. Like they said it's the best internet in town, but yet it's not really the greatest. So I had to go in there and set all my settings up and everything, and now it's been doing good. It's been doing much better for the past week now. I started messing with those settings last week, and then ever since that, it's been going great the whole time. Clear pictures. Everyone's saying that the stream looks much better, runs much better the way it compared to before, and all that. So that's a plus on my end.
So, so you use OBS software for streaming.
Yeah, I use Streamlabs OBS.
Awesome.
That's pretty
I
much
have
what
an
everyone
idea about it.
uses.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the best you can have out there.
So what is the internet connection of yours?
It's I'm using right now. I'm using wireless, and I'm using wireless internet, and I bought a Wi-Fi extension to kind of like expand the segment because I think that's the reason why my streams weren't doing the greatest because the router's too far away from the computer, so I had to get an extension to boost up the signal from the other room to my PC in here. And then it's been good ever since.
So you play high definition games, right? So is it possible for you to use internet connection and stream it the Wi-Fi instead of wired connection? You're using wireless. You're getting the best quality with wireless connection.
So far, I've noticed that in the past, when I used to play games in the past on computer with the internet connected to the back of the computer, it was working good, but wasn't quite the greatest. And then ever since I've been doing wireless with this one, I've been noticing a big improvement with high quality games and all that. Only problem is some games are too demanding in details, so I have to bring the details down a bit for the game to run nice and smoothly. Like Rust, for instance. For Rust, I had it running, I think it was at the graphics up to 6, and I was getting, I think, maybe from like since before I had the extension, I was running at like 11 to 13 frames per second. And then when I got the extension, I was running up from 18 to 21 frames per second at the graphics all the way up to 6. Then my one buddy told me, try turning down the graphics to 3 and go from there. And then ever since I did that, then I've been getting 20 to 25 frames per second, sometimes 30 frames. And the game runs nice and smoothly. So it really all depends on the settings and everything else for the game to properly function on the computer.
But there will be difference between wired and wireless connection video streaming, right?
Yeah, there's a big difference with it, yes.
Yeah, because if you take the connection directly, You can use like you said, the pixels that you are using, the settings you have to give a different options.
Yeah.
But if you are putting the wire directly to your computer, you don't need to uh, change it to the lesser configuration. You can put it to the highest one, and I mean, this is my observation. If you put like this, I think the live streaming will be more good, and the audience will connect with
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Right now I can't really connect the two directly into the PC because there's no way to connect it in here. We're in the room that I'm streaming and all that with. So for now, I just have to use wireless until I can eventually get my own place and then get an actual Wi-Fi router dedicated to being plugged in behind the PC and then play games that way and stream games that way. For the time being, I just have to have the settings really low in Streamlabs, making sure that it works until I start getting more money and then eventually be able to afford all that stuff to get my games running at full capacity like they're supposed to be.
Do you have a tech background?
A background?
I mean, your studies, your education was into the technology.
Oh yeah. um actually after high school, the first time I went to college for electrician, but that didn't work out for me because it was too much stuff for in the books, and that I'm more of a hands-on type of person. I like to do projects right there in front of me, and with that college, it was mainly all books. You have to read the books and write down notes and everything else, and I'm not really good with that. I'm more of a manual type of person. Like you show me how to do something while I'm there and I'll be able to do it right after because I can see you doing it. But if you hand me a book and expect me to read the book and then memorize it and all that, I won't be able to.
So, do you have any inspiration, any person, or what inspired you, or what motivated you to come into this gaming and for, made you to take this as a profession?
Yeah, I've been watching YouTube videos and Twitch streams for the longest time in my life too, and actually I still remember the one day I was watching a YouTube video and I was thinking to myself it'd be cool to eventually do this as a profession myself, and then my dad looked at me and said, I'm sure you'd be pretty good at doing it because you can attract a different audience than anyone else that no one else could because I'm bilingual and a lot of people just know like English and that's it. I know English and French. So like my dad was telling me, well, you can attract a French audience and an English audience at once, so you get like both combined, and it'll just grow your community a lot more and give you more options and that more opportunities to grow. But yeah, I was mainly like watching YouTube one day. I felt like it would be cool, and then I finally got the motivation to start doing it, and yeah, I'm glad I did. It's been good ever since.
I'm sure you might have did research about what games needed, what configurations, and what kind of stuff they need in order to play it.
Yeah. Yeah, I did a little bit of research on that. Like I watched videos on looking up what's the best equipment to use and what kind of games attract the attentions and everything else, and kind of went from there. Did some research online to find the best products, and then I got them and started using them. And then the one game was pretty popular still. It had first came out, which was the ghost hunting game Phasmophobia, had just came out not long after I got my PC. So then that's when I started. I said, okay, perfect. There's my opportunity to try out that game with my new PC and see how well it runs and everything. And it was running smoothly the whole time. The only problem was the internet, because I didn't realize that you could change your settings to give it a lower bit rate and all that fancy stuff to make it run nice and smooth like it intended to be. So then it took me until last week to try and check with the settings and see. I just thought of it at the top of my head. I was like, well, there has to be a way I can improve this. There has to be. So I just kind of looked into it, and then surely enough, I followed the step-by-step video that they were showing me, and I was setting up my settings at the same time, and I had everyone come in that I know that watched my stream when I first started compared to now, and they said that it's way better than it was before.
So it's really good. It's really is a good feeling. You know, you converted your passion into profession.
Yeah. It was a great feeling to know that there was an opportunity, and this is a great feeling. I just started off doing this for the fun of it, to see kind of where it would go and all that kind of stuff, and then eventually it got more and more and all that. I first started with YouTube at first, and then and then after a while I noticed that I was spending more time live streaming on Twitch and was running out of ideas for videos to post on YouTube. So I eventually deleted YouTube and just kept Twitch for live streaming and everything else. So it's kind of like it was hard at first to pick that back up because it was like starting over again. But now the more I go now, more of my audience from YouTube comes back and all that. So they're starting to come back now, which is a good thing, because that's what I was worried about at first, was that I was going to have to start all over again from scratch. But no.
Twitch is paying you?
Yeah, they go based on the way they work is every month they have the minimum payout you need is $100 US. That's their minimum for to qualify for a payout from them. And I think the most I've gotten so far was from 113 to 156 and all that. And I think not long after I got the second payout, I'm close to getting a third payout now from them already. As soon as it reaches that 100, then I'll have another one come in, and they pay you every 15th of every month. So it was a little confusing at first that they did that every month, but it kind of makes sense in a way how they work for their things every 15th of the month. I read up on it, and it makes sense now why they do it that way.
So how many audience you have? How many people follows you? How many people watches you playing? And where are they from?
It depends on the days. Some days I'll have 3 viewers maximum throughout the whole stream. Other days I'll have over 10 viewers. So really it all depends on the days and the games that I play and all that. And then I think I'm at 464 followers on Twitch. But the viewer count really depends on the game and the time also that I play the games, because the time zone is really different from everywhere else for my time zone. So that's also another barrier that's blocking the people from coming in my stream. But other than that, it's not too bad.
You narrate while playing? You speak while playing?
Yeah, I'll get a few people that even if no one's in here, I'll still play and explain the games. And then, like, the way I put it is that I have someone that is already talking to me in the game, and then I talk to them that way. And then once the audience starts showing up, then I go directly to the audience while talking to my friend at the same time right after. That's the way I found it to make it more interesting, is that I have someone talking with me while no one is watching until the people show up.
You add background music?
No, I don't use background music for it. Well, I just use the in-game music. If some of it has it, I just use the in-game music for the starting soon screen and all that. But most games that don't have in-game music, I just put the starting soon screen up, and then once I'm ready, then I switch back to the main and then start playing from there.
What are the games that you wanted to play?
The one game I really wanted to play was Resident Evil Village. I tried the demo for it when it first came out because I had already pre-purchased it. And when they released the demo, I tried it out, and it wasn't working the greatest. So I just decided to watch other people play it instead and not try it for myself type thing, because judging by the demo, I was like disappointed that that my computer couldn't function that great towards the game. I tried fixing everything and it wouldn't work that good no matter what. So I just decided that I was going to watch someone else play the game and enjoy the full potential that the game has to offer, seeing as my PC can handle all the features that the game has, like all the graphics quality and everything else, high definition and all that with the ray tracing and everything. But the other game I'm really looking forward to is Halo Infinite. Whenever that launches, that one I'm getting no matter what. I do not care. I'm getting it no matter what. I will make sure it will work, that my PC will be able to handle it, because I have the full Halo Master Chief Collection that I streamed a few times too, and it runs perfect with my computer, no problem whatsoever. So that's the other game I'm waiting for now, is Halo Infinite, because I'm pretty sure it'll run no problem.
So your dad is the person who encouraged you to take this as a profession.
Yeah, he suggested, he's the one that encouraged me and suggested that I could do it if I really put my mind to it and wanted to. And then I ended up going for it, and then he's been supportive ever since about it. When I tell him a few times about it, I got a payout, and he's still supportive of it. Also have other people that are supportive of it too and all that, so that's what's keeping me going.
Okay. So you stream every week or multiple times in a week?
How many times I stream a week?
Yeah.
3 days a week. The Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays is when I stream for 3 hours a night, depending on how long the game is. I'll sometimes stream for like 5 hours, depending on how long the story of the game is. Or if I have a lot of people in the stream, then I'll extend the stream a little longer and all that. And if I'm enjoying the game that I'm playing too, I'll play for a little longer than I'm supposed to.
You have speakers attached to it, to your PC?
Nope, it's the built-in speakers for the PC, but I'm using my headphones for the game audio. I have it set that way in Streamlabs that all the audio from the game comes from my headset.
Okay.
That way I can adjust it.
Okay. So people can hear the sound that you are hearing in the live.
Yeah, they can hear everything that I'm hearing. They can
And
hear everyone that I'm talking to, and
okay. And including
yeah.
your voice.
And for what? Sorry.
Including your voice.
Yeah, I set it up so that all my audio for my voice comes through my microphone.
Okay.
Instead of having the microphone on the headset. That's why I have it flipped upwards, because I'm not using it. I'm using an actual microphone for it. So everything in Streamlabs is set up. The audio input comes from the microphone, and then the output of it comes through my headset. So it gives them a better hearing experience, and they get to hear what I hear.
Yeah, I got you. So in the beginning days, it was different. Now you're saying that it is different. Now you have learned more and you have improved more when it comes to live streaming, right?
Yeah.
So what is the difference that you are observing, in the beginning days that you used to play and now?
Well, like I said before, I wasn't talking as much because it felt awkward to me at first to just talk to a camera, because I never really got anyone to interact with in the streams, so I found it a little bit weird to talk to myself, but I just said I'll keep going anyways, and eventually I'll get people that'll come in and talk to me and all that, and talk with me. And then the other thing I also noticed too, I don't look at my keyboard as often when I'm playing a game. Before, I used to look at my keyboard all the time to watch where the keys were. And this time I don't even need to look at my keyboard half the time. I already know where the keys are. So I pretty much learned the keyboard within a couple of weeks. So that's the big change that I noticed.
Is there any other equipments other than monitor and keyboard to play game?
Yeah, there's the mouse as well too.
Yeah,
There's
mouse.
also the mouse, but
Yeah.
that's pretty much all I use is just mouse and keyboard to play
Okay.
games with.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know if I can. Yeah. I have the gamer mode set on the keyboard, so it makes it easier to maneuver around in that too, like to know where the keys are and everything. I kind of checked around where those were and what was the difference in it, and it said that it improves the movements of the keyboard. Like when you press W to move forward and it reacts better with the gamer mode on than when it's just a regular keyboard. So I just have it set to that whenever I play games.
So your PC is completely a gaming PC.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So what are your future plans? What you wanted to do in coming days? Do you have anything particular that you wanted to implement that you have in your mind?
Well, eventually later on, I'd like to get like get a better computer, so to speak. I can only get what I wanted for what I could afford now, but eventually, if I start making more money in that, I'll eventually get like a newer generation computer and everything else so that I can enjoy all the new games, new upcoming games and everything without the struggle of turning down the graphics settings or anything like that, and be able to enjoy the full experience of it. But for right now I'm happy with what I have. Until it gets to that point, I don't really have anything to go along with. It's just I go with what I have, and then whenever it gets there eventually, then I'll start upgrading my equipment.
So do all the games take the same time for streaming, or different games take different times?
Different games take different times. Like the one I just finished streaming today, it only took 2.5 hours to complete the story. And most of the games that I play are online games with friends and that, so those tend to extend over the amount that I usually stream, or sometimes I end up stopping them before I end the stream and that, but most of the games that I play tend to exceed the streaming time because you just do everything. There's really no story mode to it or like a storyline to it or anything. It's a free to explore world type of game, like an open world game. You explore everything and there's always something new.
I didn't saw Twitch do it shows your picture also. I mean your video also, your personal you personally captured in the webcam.
Yeah, I have the webcam set up, yes, that it shows in my streams. I didn't actually have that until like 4 months after I started streaming. That's when I decided to get a webcam for the PlayStation 4 and started showing my face.
Okay.
But before, when I first started, I wasn't showing my face.
Okay. How you was feeling when you put your face out for the first time?
It actually felt better than just not having a webcam because it felt like I was actually talking to people and interacting with them and that, because with no camera, I just felt like I was talking to a screen.
Yeah.
And it didn't really feel the greatest. It didn't feel realistic enough.
I'm sure after this video, you will get followers and uh, uh, the people who are into games. They will follow you from after doing this video, because gaming is one of the famous thing in India.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't even know you were from there. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All the
Yeah.
way on the other side of the world.
Yeah, but the time, like you said, the time zone is different. The life
Yeah.
that you put, the time is different. Now it's night for you. Now it's completely afternoon for me, 12 p.m. I know,
Yeah.
but still there are like mad people who are into games here.
Yeah.
You know, they follow most of the Western country gamers, and they play here. They also put live streams here, but their motivation
Okay.
is coming from there. I'm sure I didn't see your gaming skill, but I'm sure I will put your link in the description of our video on YouTube. People who
Okay,
find
sounds
our
good.
video on YouTube, they will see the way you play, because they are the people who connects directly with you, because they are into the games, and
Yeah,
they love following the similar kind of mindsets.
yeah, and they can also watch, like, if they end up missing my live stream. That's the thing I like about Twitch as well, is that you can have your broadcasts saved onto your channel. So that
Okay.
way, if people missed your stream, they can go back and watch the old one, and then hopefully make it on time for the next stream.
How many episodes you did?
The game I just finished playing was just all one game.
Okay.
It wasn't any episodes or anything. It was just, well, I decided to go just all in the full game in one stream to see how long the game was going to be.
Okay.
That's how I tend to be with games, other than the only one I did episodes on was the Halo games. When I stream those, I do a couple of levels and then end the stream and then pick back up where I left off the next day. The next time I streamed, I'd pick up from where I was and then go from there, do like 3 more episodes and then do it that way.
You have a studio set up in your home?
Yeah, I have a table that I'm using right now. I got my computer, the TV as a second monitor, the mic, and then the ring light that's attached to the back of the PC. And I
Okay.
just have a regular chair for now. I had a computer chair, but it ended up getting damaged. So I just have to use a regular chair until I can get another computer chair in the future.
So how you get sponsorships?
The sponsorships, that's actually an interesting and funny thing to bring up. How I ended up getting the sponsorships is I would post clips off of my stream on Instagram, and I just get random likes and replies off my posts on Instagram asking me to do a collaboration with them, that they'd be willing to sponsor me in that. That's how it pretty much became that I have all these sponsors. Is mainly, I think only one of those sponsors I reached out to and asked if they wanted to sponsor me, but the rest of them just came to me through my post on Instagram and asked if they could sponsor me. And it's pretty much all clothing sponsors too. Jewelry and clothing sponsors.
As a gamer, who do you think uh, 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 are interested in gaming, and are more interested in gaming, and more interested in watching somebody playing gaming?
Yeah, that's pretty much how I was at first too, is that I was just, the thing that interested me about watching other people like either stream or play games was their reactions whenever they'd get like really scared or really mad or something. Their reaction, that's what I'd find funny about it. And that's why um recently I've tried to give like more expressions out whenever something happens, to try and see if it'll boost it up a bit more. Because that's the main thing I noticed a lot, is that people that have reactions to things and all that tend to get more people's reactions and more people to be happy and everything and enjoying watching you play the game.
So, how will be your expressions while playing the game? You be yourself, or you changed yourself for the game?
I pretty much just play it as the way I would react in real life. That's how I am. I don't put on like a character or anything. I just act like myself, and then most of the reactions I get are my actual real life reactions towards games or anything like that that I play. I don't feel the need to put on a show or a character, so to speak. I just prefer to be myself. And that's one thing I didn't like about other people, that they feel the need to be like a certain character or force the emotions and just pretty much like fake everything. In other words, that's the one thing I didn't really like, is that they weren't being themselves. I prefer to be myself, and then some people like it, other people don't. And that's just how they are.
So, what is the best compliment that you got?
No, I haven't really had any compliments other than saying that my reactions when I get scared playing Phasmophobia are hilarious. Whenever I get scared shitless by the ghosts or whatever, they say that it's hilarious. The way I jump and that. It's because that's the thing I like about the game. You don't expect it. That's the thing I really like about it, is it just catches you off guard. That's what makes it fun to play. Like, I'll be honest, I am a complete chicken shit when it comes to horror games. I hate horror games. I can't play them because I get too scared. But this one, for some reason, that game, no matter how scary it gets, I'm still addicted to it. I still want to play more, and I'm just driven into it, wanting to play more. Like, I get addicted to it. Doesn't matter how many scares it gives me, I'm still willing to play it for hours on end.
You buy games or
Yeah, most of the games I buy are off of Steam. That's where I buy all my games, is off of Steam, online on the computer, because the computer I have doesn't have like a disc reader or anything, so I just get my games online off of Steam because that's where most people get their games too. So pretty much every game that I have on my PC is all from that platform, is from Steam.
is that expensive?
Some of them are, yes. Others are pretty cheap. Sometimes they have sales going on some games, and then that's when I'll be like, okay, I'll play it, and that I'll get it and test it out and see how it runs and all that. And then other games are a little bit pricey, but most games that were pricey, I ended up keeping, or I ended up really wanting and keeping them afterwards, so I didn't really care about the price of them because it's a game I really wanted, because I've played it in the past.
I don't think you will know the time when you're playing the game.
The time?
Yeah, you concentrate on the time.
No, I
You don't
don't
know.
even. The only time I keep track of that is when I'm streaming. If I'm not streaming and I get really caught up into a game, I won't even notice what time it is. I'll start playing it, and then after 4 hours, then I'll notice. I'll be like, holy crap. I'll be like, holy, where'd the time go? But no, the only times I really pay attention to the time of how much I've spent on a game is if I'm streaming it, because I can see the counter that it tells me how long I've been live for. But if it wasn't for that, I can play games for like hours on end without stopping.
So, as a person what is the change in you that is there when you're playing? The change, the consciousness. You're very conscious while you're playing. You're very observative, or you're a keen
Yeah,
observer.
yeah, that's my thing with some games. I really like the amount of details that some games have. And recently, Rust had a whole new update for their game. Like they changed every single thing of their game. And the first time I played it, I was honestly mind blown of of how much detail they put in the game and how many things they changed and everything. So that's what got me into playing that game more. Because before the graphics were good, but they weren't like amazingly good. And then I heard that they did a complete update of the whole game. Like they changed the whole map and made everything different, and apparently made things look even better than what they were. And then once I seen that, then that's when I was like, oh yeah, okay. They really outdid themselves. I really enjoy playing that game now. That makes it look even more realistic than everything. Like the grass wasn't even realistic or the trees or anything. And now with this update, the even the tree stumps on the ground, they weren't as detailed or anything before. And now, ever since they did them, it looks like an actual tree stump that is just sitting there, and the amount of detail they put in the trees and the nature around it and everything is just mind blowing to me. Every time I play it, that's what drags me into it, is just the atmosphere. And also playing it with friends too.
How old are you?
I am 26, about to turn 27 on Saturday.
Happy birthday in advance.
Yeah, thanks.
So,
Yeah.
so at last, tell to my audience and to the gamers who are watching and listening to this video and audio from anywhere on this planet. Do you have anything to say about the work that you do, and how they can follow you, and how they can uh, uh, watch you playing?
Well, we've pretty much covered all that up already. They can follow me on Twitch, and then sometimes I'll post on Instagram and TikTok. I'll post some clips of the streams that I think are funny. I'll tend to post them on my Instagram and my TikTok account. And then I have a Twitter account as well that's got more followers on there than I do on Twitch. I think I have well, you've seen it. I have over
Yeah,
5,000
yeah,
followers on Twitter. That's all from YouTube at first. And then
yeah.
it kind of grew from there.
That's amazing, man. You're increasing the
Yeah.
number.
Yeah. That's my next big step, is to be verified on Twitter and then be Twitch partner.
Awesome,
Those are
man.
my next big goals to achieve, is to be verified on Twitter as soon as they have their verification forms back up, and then hit Twitch partner. Those are
Definitely
my
you will
two
get.
main goals to focus on.
Definitely you will get, and I will get the verification too.
Oh yeah.
Verify too soon. So thank you very much for giving me your valuable time, and telling about what you do, and the games that you play, and what made you to come into the gaming field. So I'm sure you're going to come with a lot of interesting games, and make it uh, look as interesting as, and as entertaining as possible, uh, to reach uh, the people from anywhere in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for having me. It was an honor doing this interview with you.
So I will put all your links in the description of this video. People who finds our video can find you and the work that you do.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, I will. I'm coming to Canada. I'm coming to Toronto. Maybe in two couple of months. I got a
Oh,
job there as
nice.
a IT director.
Okay. That's
So
actually not too far from where I live.
yeah, I'm sure my company head also will be watching this video
Yeah.
because I connect with tech people around the world. So gaming also one of the tech important thing in the tech. So this is one of the important things for me also for my personal growth. Talking about it and knowing about it. So when I come there, whenever you're free, I want to meet you and want to know what games you're playing, and if possible, I'll take a few more interviews of yours so that you can also reach my audience. And don't know how many audience of mine follows the games, but definitely I have a big number. Have you seen any videos of mine on YouTube or podcast? Have you heard my podcast?
No, I was gonna go actually listen to a few of them after we were done this interview, just to see what's going on in that. I didn't
Yeah.
really get the chance to go check them because you reached out to me right away on Twitter, so
And it's nice. It's nice. It's not the video. This video came very natural and real because if you have seen all my previous stuff, the way you react with me will be different. I don't want you to do that, and I feel very happy because you're being yourself and you're telling
yeah.
what you do very naturally, and this is going to be very natural and real videos because I did. I'm sure after doing this video, when you see my videos, you will think that you might have said better, or you might have you may be thinking some other things because I have a very huge stuff. I am doing this for 1 year, and I took more than 450 interviews,
Okay.
and I have like you have seen I have 40,000 followers in all the social platforms, and
Okay.
in Twitter I have 20 plus thousand followers, and on Instagram I have 8,000 plus followers, and on Facebook I have like 800 plus followers,
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah, I'm
Pretty
into
popular.
I'm into social media from long time, like 7 to 9 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm a blogger. I write things, I explain some things that I see randomly. Like now we had
Okay, yeah.
conversation. What I feel about this conversation, I'll just go and explain it using my own words. So that's how I reached people before. I have mobile apps on Google Store, and I have two websites and two podcasts, two YouTube channels, and I have international subscribers from all over the world. If you go
Oh,
and see
wow.
after this video, uh, you will see every country, almost every country, you will see me talking with people who are from every country: Germany, England, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, east, west, north, south of the globe. I covered everybody,
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
and I want to do 4,000 interviews. I completed 450. Like you have how you have goals. You want to
Yeah.
do some things. Like my goal also to do 4,000 plus. Also tech interviews. Tech I started recently. Maybe I took 40 interviews. Tech people who are into Amazon Web Services, who are solution architects, and who are engineers, uh, like tech related people, because different people talk about different things. I will understand. Infrastructure. That's why I asked you what are the infrastructure, what are the equipment that you use in order to make it, you know, look the video and the audio the best
Yeah.
quality. So that's why I asked. So it's my pleasure. You're the first gamer in my experience. I'm talking first
Oh,
gamer.
wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
So can I put this video and audio clip on my YouTube channel, social media, internet, podcast, internet, website, everywhere with your permission?
yeah. Yeah, my permission. Yep.
Okay. So Yeah, I'll meet you whenever you're free, and I'll take another interview when you give me uh, your time again in future.
All right, sounds good. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, keep going, keep doing what you love, and play more games and reach more people in the world.
Yeah, will do.
Thank you, sir. Take
All
care.
right, thank you.
Bye.
Talk to you later.